Good evening. This is CTV News for Tuesday, March 6th. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us this evening. Topping our news tonight, after getting a threat on social media, officials put Crosson High School on lockdown. It happened shortly before 10 this morning. The person threatened via Twitter to shoot up the school. Police immediately beefed up their presence around the building. At least 5 cruisers could be seen on the campus. Meanwhile, now close by at Broadneck High School in Annapolis, the police presence was also increased after a phone threat. Officials there are investigating it and reminding parents to talk with children about the seriousness and danger of making such threats.
And Police Chief Hank Stawinski took to Twitter to reassure the community that everything was under control at Crosson High School. In this video, he said that person who made the threats had been identified. He also wanted everyone to know that additional police officers have been dispatched throughout the community to prevent any potential problems. The chief vowing that the suspect would be prosecuted for making the threat and encouraged that person to come forward.
By the end of the week, residents could be back into the apartments that were severely damaged by the windstorm last week. Several roofs were blown off and the side of a building at Andrews Ridge in Suitland was damaged. 17 buildings in all and 300 people have been affected. An emergency management official says crews are working on repairing a boiler facility and parts of the building so that people can return.
As the boiler system that we're referring to supplies hot water to all 242 of those units. So that needs to be brought back online. Also, the gas main needs to be brought back up. So all of the utility issues is their initial focus, as well as I mentioned earlier, in closing anywhere that was exposed as a result of the wind, so no further property damage is done, whether it's to the building or to the residents' belongings. So for now, there's the one that lost the brick veneer on the side, one that lost part of the roof. There are 2 others that have concerning cracks, bulging, so those buildings are going to be limited as well. So that targets us down to around 20 units throughout the complex that will not be immediately re-inhabitable. The other units, it's anticipated that once the utilities and any other minor issues that need to be resolved right away are brought back online, the residents will be able to come back in.
Wells says that emergency management and the Red Cross has worked to ensure that all who were displaced have a temporary place to stay.
Meanwhile, power outages persist after that windstorm, but Pepco and bg&e are making significant progress in Prince George's County. As of 11 o'clock this morning, both reported scattered outages totaling about 600 customers. At its peak, there were thousands without power, electricity in the county, but the company said the bulk of the outages have been restored.
A Maryland lawmaker wants to restrict police access to military equipment. Senator Susan Lee, a Democrat, is sponsoring a bill to limit police use of federal military surplus programs. Lee says she doesn't want communities to become militarized.
We just want some transparency, and the way that the bill is amended provides that transparency so that when they acquire certain equipment, we know what they're acquiring. I think you don't need, gigantic military-style tanks to protect our communities. I don't think that's appropriate.
Following the Ferguson disturbances a few years ago, local police were criticized for using military equipment.